Good afternoon and good morning, wherever you are in the art world. Today we have Giovanna and Veronica, Fendi, and it's an honor for us to have you with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolina, and good afternoon, and thanks for this opportunity. And also, I want to apologize for my bad English, so I will just do the best I can.
As I said, always I'm also, my English is all broken English, as we can say, but that's the most important, that all our audience, wherever they are in the art world, they can, understand all of us, wherever we are, wherever we are. So what I wanted to tell you, Giovanna, we already, it's an honor again to have you and Veronica, since last time we met you both in November at FOROF, and we covered what is the vision and mission of FOROF, a contemporary art and archaeology, giving a unique Rome-based entity that combines archaeology, contemporary art, history, and experimentation. But today I would like to ask you, what made you decide to create FOROF, and if you think there was something missing in the art scene?
Thanks, Carolina. I think that the inspiration maybe of the project of FOROF was sentences that I read by Andy Warhol that say, Roma is the example in which the monuments and the cultural heritage of a city during too much long. But if you gives to these monuments and to this cultural heritage a new birth, a new life, that is a magic. So from these sentences that I love, I understand that the space of FOROF, that is at the ground floor of the historical building Roccagiovine del Gallo in the Trajan Forum, and contains a very important and magic archaeological site and discovery in the Ipogeo, in the underground, of the colored marble of Basilica Ulpia, 2nd century after Christ. So these allow me to think about a new way to regeneration, preserve and protect this archaeological site with the dialogue of the contemporary artist. That is the only way, I think, to give this new birth. So anything really is missing in the art program of Rome, but I think FOROF will be a new and innovative place in Rome, maybe that there isn't, to regeneration and look with a contemporary view and eyes this heritage that we have. So the program of FOROF is based on this dialogue, and this is the contemporary art, because I think is not more than the recording of the past, the observation of the present, and with the poetic and message of the contemporary artists, we will go also in the future. For me, is this contemporary art. So now is a newborn of FOROF, because I call it often my fourth son, and he has 1 year and a half, but the little success that I see in the visitors and in the public that enter in FOROF was this: who enter for the archaeological site remain astonished to the message and the site-specific exhibition of the contemporary artists that we invited, and who comes or came for the dialogue of the contemporary artists was surprised and emotion with the colored marble of Basilica Ulpia. And this is the success I see in this short time of life of FOROF.
Well, Giovanna, in a short time, as you mentioned, you've been creating one, more impressive and touching episode, as you call them, and it's been non-stop also, because since last November, and it is true, you don't think, but from the door you enter into FOROF, and it's like a magical space, and it's like a labyrinth, and one room after the other, and it was beautiful when we last met in November. Not only beautiful, because as we said, actually Paola Ugolini said we are all scared to say beautiful, but it was beautiful, and also it was like a secret door into another, into a beautiful world with the art and the contemporary, as I said, dialogue between history and contemporary artists. But you haven't stopped, as I said. It's one episode, but which one you've been doing? Which one for you would be the most challenging or the most touching?
Okay, Carolina, I read in the critical heritage studies that there is an emergency view that captured the today's zeitgeist, that is maybe connecting with the FOROF project, and this view see the challenge of the dialogue between contemporary artists and the cultural heritage and archaeology as like an agonist from Greek, that in which agon is a positive conflict. So they ask questions each other and explore new territories to open the mind and to regeneration this cultural heritage, and also allow to be in a new way of transformation of ourselves, as like the recall and the inspiration of the cultural cafe of the 22nd century avant-garde, Cabaret Voltaire, Art Club, Baltic Tac, where the atmosphere that the artists created after the Second Mondial War was not only the scenography of the place, but a place where have been the exchange and also the aggregation and exchange. So the episode that is the part of the program of FOROF, more performative, could allow the visitors to be protagonists, not only with the artist performing, but also with the project of FOROF, to be a community in 2 hours of our exhibition or our episode, and the most touching, maybe potent, it was the ones I think have been on the 10th of May of the artist Susana Pilar from Galleria Continua, Cuban from Havana, that I am very pleased and happy that the curator is and was my daughter Veronica, and maybe she will explain and talk about this performance best and better than me.
No.
Thank you, Giovanna. Grazie, Veronica, for being with us.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I think it was really a work of all the team, and the idea started with our first call. So it was a group and a teamwork really. So when my mom she asked me if I could think, so it's been a while that she asked me to do a collaboration between FOROF and Galleria Continua, and I wanted to find like the right moment and contextualize it. So when she told me about the Essenza project, and then she asked me what could be a female artist that you can think of among the artists of Continua who could perform in relation to the theme of the Essenza project, freedom. I thought together with Maurizio, Lorenzo, and Mario of Susanna, because her major themes in her practice are freedom. Her part of her ancestors were slaves that were forced to move from Europe and go to Cuba. Cuba was an island created, lived for the first time by slaves and people that were brought there under false premises, and also the history. Their real and true history was cancelled and deleted, so they never really she never really knew where she came from. Also from researches that she made, she could only find like that people were just had a number, not even names. So she was really perfect. And when we did our first call with her, we showed her the space, and she was enthusiastic because and she thought that it was the perfect place to perform for the first time an idea of performance that she had during this past years of COVID and lockdown, where because her husband is from Netherlands and she's from Cuba. So now the situation in Cuba since COVID and the past few years has been really terrible, and he's terrible also now. So now they live in a small town near Amsterdam, and she had problems during COVID trying to go back to Cuba with her daughter Mara. They didn't let her in when she was pregnant, 7 months. So basically she realized that all these walls between people, both physical and abstract, like fake invisible walls were built, and even after so now with the end of the pandemic, a lot of these walls it still exist, and you can feel them among people. You all have these different rules where you can enter in some countries, not enter in other countries. So this performance really was different also from all the others, because there's always this theme of the slavery, of violence against women, especially in Cuba. But this was the first time there was something new, because it was this idea of really just breaking these walls and to have less walls and more paths, more passages, especially after this pandemic. So really the need to break this wall. And I wrote a small text for the episode, but she told me no, because she didn't want to talk about it, because she didn't know if she was going to be able to break this wall until the very last moment, until the performance itself. So I'm very happy to speak about this now after the performance, because she managed to break this wall. But it was it was very, very strong during the performance. All the public, like we could feel her effort and her fatigue. She really put all of her strength trying to break this mass of clay that was really very heavy, and for me it was impossible to even like break it, even just a small hole, and she managed to break it and to pass through it and transform a wall into a passage, which was what she wanted to do. So it was perfect for the place itself. She always does site-specific performances that really are very connected and in dialogue with the space, and this space where the manumissio, as my mom was saying, were firstly in the ancient Rome practiced. So it was really great, and it was a big success. And she also did some produced some works from this performance, a small sculpture. It was 20 years that she didn't do a sculpture, and this small sculpture is very beautiful, and also some small preparatory drawings made with clay of the performance. So in the end, there was also a very beautiful show that now ended, but it's been like 2 weeks. We could see like in loop some videos of past performances downstairs, small drawings of another performance that it's called Historias Negras, spreaded downstairs. So in relation also with the archaeological pieces from the Basilica Ulpia. So it was like a treasure hunt for the visitor who had to like find these drawings, just like we are trying to recreate the life of ancient Rome in the Basilica Ulpia and all around Rome. And then upstairs you had the clay left, so from the performance, that is the sculpture itself, and then the small preparatory drawings of this performance. So in the end, it was a beautiful show. I was really happy, and I think it was a great success also in the context of the special season of Essenza.
Thank you, Veronica. It's as if I was there. It's a pity that I wasn't there, unfortunately. Hopefully for the next one, but
Yes.
it must be very powerful. But did she manage to go to Cuba or not yet?
No, not now, not yet. Now the situation is very hard. Most of our Cuban artists are in Europe now, Madrid and other places, because now they don't have electricity. A lot of protests. It's impossible to get the food from the supermarket. So I think that now you can only stay there if you have like a lot of possibilities, a lot of money, because maybe you manage to have like private ways to get food and internet and things that now it's not possible. So yeah, it's hard, but hopefully she will manage to go back and bring Mara as well soon.
Thank you. Beautiful again, but also this freedom, as you said, freedom, and it will be also in your next episode. Giovanna, can you tell us a bit about what you're going to do just after Art Basel?
Yes, it's true. On the 15th of June, inside that Basel. But I like also, Veronica was correct to say just a few words of this special season of FOROF that is the FOROF Essenza. FOROF Essenza was created because FOROF create through arts a path that aspires to the freedom and the essence of the freedom. So I would like, with an essence, in collaboration with a very famous nose, Laura Bosetti Tonato, that I love her, the essence could give back the soul of this magic place of FOROF, where the manumissio, the freedom of slaves, 2000 years ago, born, was like the first public act that Trajano, the Imperator Trajano, the Optimus Princeps, wanted, and happened in the pavement, in the floor, in the marble colored downstairs in the underground of FOROF. This is, I think, revolutionary humanity, no? The freedom. And for this, the essence, I would like that exprime and that could feel everybody after the experience in FOROF, and the trip that you can make in FOROF, that is not aesthetic, is more ethic, or the two together. I would like that we'll say to everybody that it is in an ancient future that the thought of freedom art could spread, and could allow everyone to put down these walls that we all, everyone have inside. And the episode, the second episode, because the FOROF Essenza is a project, and is experimentation between the art to create parfums, the ancient history of Rome, and the contemporary art with the two women artists that was Susanna and will be Silvia Giambrone. She is an Italian artist, lives and work in between Rome and London, and she will do for FOROF a reading performance, of the book of dell'incontro, of meeting, and explain us the 17th century that happened with the Brigate Rosse. That was a very tragedy moment of our history, but it attempt to say and to explain what the freedom world could do, because this performance will have the objective, or the meaning will be the redemption of the victim and the protagonist of the mooring, come si dice, lutto. Mooring.
Yeah.
But I think it's difficult, sorry for my bad English, to explain. So I invited all of you to come to see the performance, because I think it will be very, very strong, very actually also, no? And this is the experimentation to recontextualize our history with the voice of the contemporary artist.
No, thank you, Giovanna. I think, that's why I really wanted you to be here, because we met briefly with the curator, Paolo Golini, and Silvia Giambrone. And unfortunately, they couldn't be here today because we tried to manage, and there was a technical problem. But, it was so beautiful what you are going to do, because it's, as I said, freedom, it's a very powerful, very simple world, but very powerful. And what you will do with the Paola and Giovanna, it's really so touching. And I think I can't wait to be there and to be with you, because it's one of the most beautiful. It is already, just through the words, what you're doing, it's magical, and you are like really what we needed. As I said, we missed something, and now we have we have you, Giovanna. Thank you.
No, no, thank you. It's also ambitious project and really a challenge for me. But I put all my enthusiasm and all my love for this project that I care very, very much, and I is also a utopia to realize something new, because I didn't want to do a foundation or a gallery art or museum, but FOROF is benefit enterprise or society. That means that it comes and it goes like a normal society, but all the profit are reinvested in a way with responsibility and transparency in this experimentation of dialogue between archaeology and contemporary artists.
And we can feel your passion, Giovanna. Thank you. No, thank you. It's so beautiful. And as I said, I would love to do the Art Talks special issue on freedom, just after what we said last time. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful idea. And as I said, freedom can be from anything, from, you know, from what Giovanna, actually, no, Silvia, sorry, Silvia Giamboni was saying, from anything, from, you know, from our daily freedom to more important, you know, life, everyday life, that most of the people are actually, you know, even to pursue happiness. It's a beautiful, beautiful subject, very powerful, and I really thank you for, you know, bringing this up.
Thank you very much, Carolina. Really.
Grazie. You know, to be here with us for a third time, hopefully third time lucky, and can't wait to see you in a couple of days in Basel.
Basel. Thank you very much to you and to everybody, and to my daughter, and bye bye, and avanti tutta. Goes on.